The goings-on Capitol Hill this week and next week are almost a phantasm of political infighting and weirdness and things going by. The day yesterday was devoted to the debate of a commemorative resolution for 9/11, which, of course, was 2 days earlier. They should have gotten it done last week, but you know how Congress is. Either way, what it turned into was a political Christmas tree in which the Republicans, who were offering up the resolution, added in all of the wonderful things that they'd done since 9/11 to protect the country, and the Democrats objected to it. And then on the other side of the Capitol Hill, the Democrats in the Senate have just offered up an entire bill to implement the 9/11 Commission recommendations, et cetera, which the Bush administration has been avoiding, and tried to tack that onto the port security bill, which is a sure thing to go through. They didn't manage to do that when somebody pointed out that there was no money for the program in the budget already. This morning, President Bush is going down to Capitol Hill for a closed-door caucus with the Republicans. My bet, although we may not hear about it, is that he is telling them to set up and get ready for a special session after the election, which means if they won, they get to do all the stuff that they wouldn't do before the election because it would have been prejudicial to their votes. And if they lose, they get to plant landmines on every trail in Washington, D.C. before they leave in January. Either way, special session, lame duck session, trouble ahead. And I think the president is getting ready to gear up the Republicans for that today. Oh, boy, we've got a lot of problems. Afghanistan, the battles are continuing in Kandahar and Helmut. The area, Paktia province, is practically a no-go now, and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which just recently took over security for the overall Afghan operation, NATO isn't to send any further reinforcements. There are 20,000 NATO forces there. They were asking for 2,500 and more, and apparently they're not going to be sending them. All of the NATO nations have looked at the Afghan scene and said, I really got something else to do with my troops this month. Kofi Annan is on his way down to Cuba for the Non-Aligned Nations Summit meeting. He's also going to meet Fidel Castro, who is reportedly on his feet, but still weakened after his medical operations. The UN Secretary General is going to be taking recommendations from the non-aligned nations who are lining up on a lot of levels against United States policy and carry them back to the General Assembly meeting next week. It ought to be rather interesting, particularly since one of the issues to be taken up is the question of whether or not Venezuela will get the Latin American seat on the Security Council. And that's probably enough news to get you started with. I'm Travus T. Hipp on the Pig on the Radio on a Thursday. Stay tuned.